There's something almost poetic about watching raw steel transform into something useful. And today we're stepping inside one of the world's most impressive steel bar rolling mills, a place where fire, force, and precision come together in a process that hasn't changed in spirit since the Industrial Revolution, but has evolved into something truly extraordinary. It all starts with the billet, a thick, solid block of steel, typically measuring around 150 by 150 millimeters in cross-section. These billets are loaded into a reheating furnace, where temperatures soar up to 200 degrees Celsius. That's over 190 degrees Fahrenheit. At that heat, the steel becomes soft enough to be shaped, but it's still solid. Think of it like working with very firm dough, hot, glowing, and ready to be pushed into form. Once the billet reaches the right temperature, you can actually see it glowing bright orange. It's fed into the rolling mill through a series of passes. Each pass squeezes the steel between two large rotating rolls, progressively reducing its cross-section and elongating it. This is called hot rolling, and it's been the backbone of steel production for over 150 years. The mill uses multiple rolling stands arranged in a continuous line, sometimes 6, 8, or even 12 stands in sequence. Each stand has specially shaped grooves called passes carved into its rolls. As the steel bar travels through each stand, those grooves guide and shape it, round, oval, round again, in a carefully choreographed dance of pressure and heat. By the time the bar exits the final stand, it's moving fast, sometimes over 100 kilometers per hour, and it's been transformed from a chunky billet into a long, clean, precisely dimensioned steel bar. The bar then passes through a cooling bed, where controlled airflow brings the temperature down gradually, ensuring the steel doesn't develop internal stress cracks. Finally, the bars are cut to length using a flying shear, a blade that synchronizes its speed with the moving bar to make a clean cut without ever stopping the line. The finished bars are then bundled and tagged, ready for shipment to construction sites, forging plants, and manufacturers around the world. We're at High-Tech Machine Tools, watching a drive shaft being precision turned on the Mazak Quick Turn Smart 300 CNC lathe. The Mazak Quick Turn Smart 300 is part of Mazak's Smart series, designed specifically with automation, ease of use, and high-efficiency production in mind. The machine features a 37 kilowatts, 500 RPM main spindle motor that's over 49 horsepower spinning a workpiece. The maximum turning diameter is 300 millimeters, and the maximum turning length reaches up to 524 millimeters. For a drive shaft, a component that transmits rotational power from an engine or motor to wheels or machinery, those dimensions are right in the sweet spot. But what really makes the Smart 300 special is its control system. It runs on Mazak's own Mazatrol Smooth G CNC control, one of the most advanced conversational CNC interfaces ever developed. Unlike traditional G-code programming, which requires a programmer to type out hundreds of lines of code, Mazatrol allows operators to input part geometry almost conversationally. The machine then generates its own machining program. The drive shaft blank arrives as a rough-turned or forged steel billet. The operator loads it into the main chuck, a hydraulic-actuated 3-jaw chuck that clamps with tremendous, consistent force and presses start. From this point, the machine takes over. First comes the roughing passes. The Mazak tears through the outer material aggressively, using carbide insert tooling mounted on the machine's 12-station turret. Carbide inserts are the modern replacement for high-speed steel tooling. Each insert is a precisely engineered cutting tip made from tungsten carbide, one of the hardest materials on Earth, capable of cutting steel at surface speeds exceeding 250 meters per minute without breaking a sweat. After roughing, the machine switches to finishing tools automatically. The turret indexes to the next station in under a second. Finishing passes take lighter cuts, achieving surface finishes measured in microns. The driveshaft's journals, the precision ground-bearing contact zones, must be turned to tolerances as tight as plus or minus 0.01 millimeters. That's roughly 1/5 the thickness of a human hair. Along the way, the Smart 300 performs live tooling operations as well. Its secondary milling spindle allows the machine to drill cross holes, cut keyways, and even mill flat surfaces on the rotating part, all without removing the workpiece from the chuck. This multitasking capability is one of the biggest leaps in CNC machining of the last 30 years. The machine also features in-process gauging, a built-in measurement probe that checks the diameter of the part while it's still spinning. If a dimension drifts even slightly out of tolerance due to tool wear or thermal expansion, the control system compensates automatically. When the program completes, the finished drive shaft is clean, precise, and ready for grinding, heat treatment, or direct assembly, depending on the application. There's something almost poetic about watching raw scrap metal transform into one of the most critical components in a massive engine. And that's exactly what happens at Schmiedewerke Gröditz, a German forge and steel company that's been shaping heavy metal, quite literally, for over a century. What makes this facility truly extraordinary is that they don't just machine crankshafts. They melt their own steel, right on site, using an electric arc furnace, or EAF. And here's the kicker. 100% of the raw material feeding that furnace is recycled metal scrap. Old car parts, industrial offcuts, decommissioned machinery, all of it gets a second life inside this plant. The electric arc furnace works by generating temperatures exceeding 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit using powerful electrical arcs between graphite electrodes and the scrap charge. The result is a precisely controlled melt pool of high-grade alloy steel, custom formulated for crankshaft applications, where extreme torsional stress, fatigue resistance, and dimensional accuracy are non-negotiable. Once the steel is poured and solidified into billets, the real magic begins. Massive forging presses, some applying over 6,000 tons of pressure, shape the rough crankshaft form through hot die forging. Then it enters a series of CNC turning, milling, and grinding operations that bring tolerances down to within just a few microns. That's thinner than a single human hair. Watching this process, you realize it's not just manufacturing, it's craftsmanship at industrial scale. From scrap pile to precision machined crankshaft, Schmiedewerke Gröditz represents what German engineering has always stood for: quality, ingenuity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Today we're watching a craftsman turn a rough steel blank into something that holds the hydraulic world together, a quick connect coupling, specifically one with a 55mm outer diameter and a 105mm length. This is precision work, and it's happening on a VDI-40 turret lathe, a machine built for exactly this kind of demanding, tight tolerance job. The VDI-40 refers to the tool holder standard. VDI stands for Verein Deutscher Ingenieur, or Association of German Engineers. The 40 is the shank diameter in millimeters. This system allows the operator to quickly swap cutting tools right on the turret without losing positioning accuracy. It's a time saver and a precision keeper, all in one. The process starts with a solid steel bar stock, clamped firmly in the chuck. The operator first faces the end of the workpiece flat, then begins turning the outer diameter down to 55mm. The depth of cut is carefully controlled. Too aggressive and you generate too much heat. Too timid and you waste time. Experienced machinists feel this balance intuitively. Next comes the internal boring, drilling, and then boring out the inner hydraulic passage to exact diameter. This is where the coupling earns its name. The internal geometry must be precise to within microns, because this is what creates the seal and controls the flow of hydraulic fluid under extreme pressure. Thread cutting follows. either internal threads for the male end or external threads for the female body, depending on the design. The VDI-40 lathe handles this automatically through its CNC programming, maintaining perfect pitch and thread profile every single pass. The finished coupling will one day be mating and releasing under tons of hydraulic pressure, probably thousands of times. But right now it's just a clean, shining piece of precision machined steel. And that's pretty satisfying to watch. There's something almost meditative about watching a paper machine run, mile after mile of paper. Smooth, continuous, moving faster than you can follow with your eyes. Spooling up into those giant rolls you've seen at the grocery store or the office supply shop. Today we're inside Sky Cotex India Private Limited, a paper manufacturing company that's taken this centuries-old craft and pushed it into the 21st century. It starts, as most great things do, with raw fiber. At Sky Cotex, the furnish is a carefully blended mixture of virgin pulp and recycled fiber, treated and refined in a pulper until it becomes a watery slurry with roughly 99% water and just 1% solid fiber. Hard to believe that thin soup is going to become paper, but stay with us. That slurry is fed onto a moving wire mesh screen, called the forming section, at tremendous speed. As the water drains through the wire by gravity and suction, the fibers begin to bond together into a wet paper sheet. This part of the machine is called the Fourdrinier section, named after the brothers who patented it back in 1806. Same basic principle, 2 centuries later, still going strong. The wet sheet, still containing around 80% moisture at this point, then moves into the press section. Here, a series of felt-covered press rolls squeeze the water out mechanically, bringing the moisture content down to roughly 50%. The felts absorb the water and are continuously cleaned and recirculated. It's an elegant system. After pressing, the sheet enters the drying section, a long series of steam-heated cast iron cylinders, sometimes numbering over 40 in a large machine. Each cylinder is heated internally with steam at around 120 to 160 degrees Celsius, and the paper wraps around each one in a serpentine path, losing moisture with every contact. By the end of the dryer section, the paper is down to just 4 to 6% moisture, the sweet spot for most commercial grades. At Sky Cotex, the machine then moves into the calendaring stage, where the paper is pressed between smooth steel rolls to achieve a uniform thickness and surface finish. It's like ironing, but at industrial scale and at incredible speeds. Finally, the finished paper sheet is wound onto large steel cores in the reel section, forming those enormous parent rolls, sometimes 3 meters wide and weighing several tons. These parent rolls are later converted into the smaller rolls you'd find on a retail shelf. The whole process, from watery slurry to finished roll, takes just minutes. And what comes out the other end is something we use every single day without a second thought.